guys, welcome back to my channel. I am playing around with the Not Too Shabby Holiday Treats stamp set today. I've already colored in all my images. I have a little snippet of the red cup here of the coloring. And what today I wanted to focus on was adding highlights to your images. So I have a white Jelly Roll pen. I like to use this one. I have these in the shop, so if you're interested in picking one up, I'll have it in the description box. Right now we have our big Black Friday sale going on right now, so orders under $100, you can save 30% off your order with Black Friday 30 as your code, and orders over 100 use Black Friday 35 for 35% off your order. So what I like to do with my images is give them a little bit of highlights. I think it makes the image pop off the page. And I guess a little tip I'll share is follow the image lines. So if you have a curve, make a curve line instead of a straight line when you're doing your highlight. I like to get my jelly pen roll going first before I lay it down on my paper. So I want to emphasize the little drips here. So what I'm going to do is just make a little highlight. So that really emphasizes the drips. So I've got some more drips over here. Do a little one. Okay, and so let's work on this little red cup here. I added some white highlighting with a white Prismacolor pencil. So what I did, I just went like this to kind of bring out that highlight a little bit more. And then I take my white Jelly Roll pen and add even more. And sometimes it's just a little subtle highlight. So for here, I might want to emphasize these top little scallops. And then I might bring a little dot down. And then on the pumpkin here, we want to emphasize this a little bit. The red cup. Maybe on the handle here. I want to emphasize these little drips. And always be careful when you're working around like this that your hand is not going to smear your other highlights, because I've done that several times. It's really disappointing when that happens. And sometimes it's really hard because the way you have to angle the paper. And then we'll do one on the other side here. And sometimes you can practice working on making thinner strokes so your highlight isn't so fat. If you want the, tiny little areas to be filled in, you're going to have to make a thinner stroke. So let's see where we can add it on the pumpkin. Let's highlight the crust on the top. This is also good if you went out of the lines at all. You can go right up against that line and kind of cover any mistakes. Like here, I had some bleeding of the ink because of my Copic marker here, and I just went around the edge to cover that up. So let's see where I can add it on the pie. Okay, so that is the highlighting I'm going to do for these images. I'm going to cut these out and create a little card. Okay, I got my Wendy Vecchi Make Art mat out so I don't get my surface dirty here. I'm using the Sunny Studio Mary die, the Neat and Tangled tag die, and this is the tag 2 die. I think I have one left in the shop. And then the Fancy Frames rectangle die by Sunny Studios. I might have this one as well. I'll have it linked below if I do. And what I'm going to do is make a sideways tag. So I want to make sure my frame is going to be centered, but I want to pop this up. So what I like to do is lay out my frame exactly where I want it, and then I can take this middle piece and glue it in so it's perfectly centered. And you know what? I wanted to do some ink blending on this, but I forgot to do it before I added this glue, but that's okay. But just a tip for you guys, you might want to do that before you put it on your tag. Okay, now I know my frame is centered. So now I can pull off my frame and add my foam tape. So we'll let that dry over there. I want to make sure none of the foam tape is hanging off the edges there. I'm going to trim it down just a little bit more. Okay, before I add my frame, I want to add this reinforcer and the topper here, because my frame is going to cover this just a little bit. And then I'm going to use this little reinforcer to bring back the red in my tag over this gold color. So now I can line up my frame. I'm going to do some ink blending really quickly in the center there. I just want a little color to peek out from my images. So we'll use this shaded lilac color. Okay, I think that's going to be enough color. So we'll go ahead and lay down the frame. Okay, so now let's play around with the images. We can have some popped up and some flat down. I want to use all the images from the set. So I'm going to put the coffee cups towards the top. We'll get my pumpkin pie over here. We'll have this one tucked behind the pumpkin pie. Get my coffee cup up there. Get up there. And then we'll have the donut in the middle. Okay, so now I can kind of see what lays on top of each other. We're going to have the Mary up at the top, so we don't want the coffee cups to be too high. And those are going to be the ones that are glued down first. I have my Mary popped up as well. We'll put some foam tape behind the little pie there. Sometimes it's easier to put the foam tape right on to your project rather than behind the image when you have a situation where you need half on your image and half of the image is going to be glued right onto the frame. You can add your glue there. I just find that the easiest way for me. Because I'm going to want to put him down first. We'll add some foam tape over here in the corner. Okay, so I added just a little bit of foam tape to the bottom, and I'll add some glue to the top. Okay, so that's how it turned out. Now let's add a pretty bow, and then this tag will be complete. I have some of this fun sparkle yarn, so let's use that. I want this tag to be looking like it's a Christmas tag. Okay, so here is the completed tag. We'll add some Spectrum Noir glitter pen and sparkle up some of the spots on the images, like the whipped cream. We'll do this pumpkin. We'll do the little berry, or the little candy on this apple. Sparkle up these little sprinkles that I added. The little sprinkles on the donut. The sprinkles on the cappuccino here. And then we'll do the berries on this holly. Let's sparkle up the inside of the pie. This is a cherry pie. Okay, that looks very yummy. So now I've got a beautiful tag to add to a gift. I can add a little to and from on the back. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little project, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye guys!